Show with your hosts, Brian Alvarez and Big Vinny B.
The Brian, Vinny, and Craig show here. It is November 20, 2018. Figure4online.com/WrestlingObserver.com. Raw and Nitro, 19 years ago this week. Horrible edition of Nitro. Bad Raw. Am I missing anything? That covers it. All right, great. So, first off, before we get any further here, the Christmas show is coming. So, we do have to do our annual request here. It's not really a request. If you'd like to send a gag gift,
Yeah.
you understand what that means?
It's a
gift?
public service announcement. A white elephant, if you will.
A stupid thing.
Yeah.
If you'd like to send something dumb for the Christmas show,
Right.
the address, Post Office Box 426, Woodinville, Washington, at 98072. That is Post Office Box 426, Woodinville, Washington, 98072. I wrote my own zip code wrong on there, but I gave it to all of you correctly. So don't send anything of value. No. Don't spend any money on this. I'm telling you, I'm telling you, listen to me, Vinny. I don't remember anything we get during the Christmas show. Nothing. I don't remember any of the presents. I get very excited when I open them, I presume. But I don't remember what we got. I don't remember who sent it to us. I'm very appreciative for everything that everybody sends, but don't spend a lot of money on us. You're throwing whatever money that you spend into a fire.
We will laugh at it for 30 seconds in the show,
Yes.
and then it'll go right in the trash.
Yes. Now, if you can come up with something really funny or entertaining for super cheap to send us, knock yourself out.
Yes.
I know this is a bad...
People like to contribute to the show.
Yes, if you'd like to contribute to the show, I'm not going to stop you.
Yeah.
I'm not going to stop you. But don't waste your money. Just send something wacky. That's number one. Number two, it is that time of year again, the annual Whale Scout fundraiser that we do every year. And as we do every year, we're going to be offering 4 guest host spots. So what that means is you can co-host this show. This show, the one we're doing right now. You can co-host this one. You can co-host the Thursday show with Granny if you'd like. You can co-host the Sunday show, where we review either a WWE pay-per-view or the NWA World Championship Wrestling show. You get to take your pick, whatever show you want. You can co-host via phone. You can co-host via Skype. If you happen to be in the area, people have come to the house and sat right there in Craig's chair and co-hosted here.
What if they want to produce?
They can't do that. Are you
What if they
kidding
want
me?
to learn how to produce?
No. We got to get rid of me, Craig.
No, I'm just asking questions.
He didn't alert me.
This is why you need to be replaced.
I could leave it on all the time, Rob, but the bleed in this room, if we have 4 mics open, will be even worse. Let's try that one more time. Yes, Rob.
You're trying to get rid of me, Craig.
That's like your catchphrase. Yes, Rob.
Yes.
Yes. Craig is not trying to get rid of you.
Absolutely.
But it's funny you mention that, Rob, because if you choose...
That's so hard to hurt my neck.
if you choose to be the guest host on the Tuesday Brian and Vinny show, I'll give you Craig's spot.
Fine.
I'll move his ass over here to the couch or something like that. He can lay down and do the
Just
show.
drive up and watch the show and drive home.
Exactly.
Done it before.
Or maybe he could sit. He could sit somewhere in here. But yeah, or you could sit on Rob's lap if you'd like to. If you want to learn how to
It's
produce,
kind of handsy.
but not actually produce. So anyway, here's the story. If you would like, we're doing it like we did last year. It's an eBay auction. All right, you have to bid for it, and it's all tax deductible. So if you win, if for some reason you want to bid $10,000, you get to write that off of your tax because it's a tax deductible donation. Whale Scout is a 501c3. You can go to whalescout.org. It's going to officially kick off Wednesday, November 21st at noon. All the information will be at whalescout.org. Whitney made a really cool video if you'd like to see what your money is actually going towards. It's not going towards my house or my child. It's going towards Whale Scout, buying tools, habitat restoration, all that kind of stuff. Whale Scout believe that right now, if you're listening to this, if you go to eBay and you search Brian Vinny Whale Scout eBay, you might be able to jump on board tonight. So once the first one is gone, we'll put the second one up. Once the second one is gone, we'll put the third one up. Once the third one is gone, we'll put the fourth one up. Once that fourth one is gone, that's it for the year. 4 this year. I think we did 5 last year. Only doing 4 this year. So head over there and check it out. Makes a great Christmas gift for the wrestling fan in your life who happens to love this show. So check it out, whalescout.org. And by the way, I believe I still owe 2 people After Dark guest host spots. After Dark canceled because WWE decided they were going to do 50,000 fucking shows. But those guest spots never expire. So one of these days, when I've had my fill, which could be tonight, based on a lot that I've heard, and After Dark comes back, you will be the co-host for those shows. Or I could just do it whenever. The After Dark guest host spots, these people don't seem like they're clamoring to do it right now. There's plenty of After Dark
paranormal activity to be discussed.
I mean, there's never going to be a lack of paranormal activity. There will always be paranormal activity to talk about. And by the way, you can also transfer to a Brian and Vinny show if you're sick of waiting. So, just want to get that out there. So with that out of the way, all that news from whalescout.org, let's start with, yes, Vinny?
Raw.
Monday Night Raw.
WWF Monday Night Raw number 339, November 22nd, 1999. Begins with Shane and the crew searching for Vince McMahon. Vince is missing. Can't find him. Al Snow and Mankind versus the Hollies. We have clips of Al and Mankind visiting Vegas, having a grand old time.
What I'm going to do, by the way, is I've got a Whale Scout hat. These are not for sale right now. But I'm going to give this to Rob, because I don't have your flag yet. So if you wave the hat, I'll know that you'd like to say something here tonight. That way Vince doesn't get another sore neck.
Thank you, Brian.
Laughing at Maurice.
Very thoughtful.
I'm always thinking about you. Yes, Rob. Just seeing if it works?
Just seeing if it works.
Okay.
Just saying if I'll remember this, but I'm sure I'll do something else to make him laugh.
Yes.
Yeah. The night is young.
The night is young.
So the Hollies come out, and Bob Holly cuts the best promo of his entire career. He holds a toy. It's a set of himself and Al Snow and Head.
Can you imagine that's what they chose to package together? Bob Holly and Al Snow.
They must have had 5,000 matches.
They did hardcore matches.
Yeah. They did like the one on the river in Memphis.
Sure.
So Bob is mad. It's Al Snow's fault that Bob's toy got pulled off of Walmart shelves and ruined Christmas for all the hardcore Holly fans. If you want to cut people's heads off, he says, that's your business. But when you affect the sales of my merchandise, I can't forgive you. I was cackling.
By the way, I went on eBay and looked for the banned Al Snow toy. You can get one for the hefty price of $5.99.
Oh man. You know what's coming on the Christmas show?
God.
We're gonna get Al Snow
I think
dolls from Walmart.
I think for $5.99 we'll probably get Al Snow in studio.
Well, it's not gonna happen.
I don't want it, but
Yeah. We'll get that. We'll get
the other thing.
Has everyone forgotten already?
No.
What was it? Weird Willie? Of course, Rob remembers. Yes, Rob.
Yeah. Vinny Victor.
Thank you, Rob. You're gonna kill me tonight.
I still didn't wave the hat.
They kind of did.
Rob couldn't just stay quiet. He had to let everyone know that was fresh on his mind.
Hey, at least somebody remembers. I wanted to remember.
Yeah, I remember, but I have pride.
Oh, get out of here. You didn't remember.
Since when?
Come on.
That is weird, isn't it?
You don't remember anything.
Okay, so the Brawling Outside Forever, I guess it's a hardcore match.
It was definitely a hardcore match.
Bob dropkicked Crash onto Al.
What?
Okay, Al was carrying, I remember now. Al was like carrying Crash with a snowplow or whatever.
Yes.
But Bob hit a dropkick, so Crash fell on top of Al.
Yes, that's what happened.
Yes, and Al gets pinned because Mankind is too busy hitting hardcore with a chair to break up the pin.
Yeah, Al Snow is upset that he had to do a job.
Yeah, the job squad guy, yeah.
That's ridiculous.
It is.
Yes.
Like everything
This is not internal logic.
This entire Al Snow run, in hindsight, every segment's ridiculous. So remember when Shane and the crew were hunting for Vince?
I do remember that.
Their plan is to go storming
5 minutes
through the
ago.
building, banging on every door, shouting, Vince! Vince!
Yeah. And the best part is they're all yelling and looking in the same place.
Yes.
It's not like it's a large building. Let's all split up. That was like going to caravan. All 5 of us will follow each other, and we'll all bang on the same fucking door. Yeah, we'll all yell at Vince.
So DX is in a limo. A very quiet limo. We could hear about half what they said.
Right.
Hunter's on the phone with somebody, says Vince is flipping his lid.
What the fuck, by the way, was up with the audio on this show? I couldn't hear a word they were saying in this limo, and it was even worse later when Mick Foley, Al Snow, and The Rock are in a corridor somewhere.
Yeah.
And, like, they're whispering, and no one's mic'd up. I can't hear anything anybody's saying till Rock cuts a promo on Al Snow, which thankfully I could hear that. It was worth the wait.
So they can't figure out why Vince is so mad. They've talked about breaking Test's nose on SmackDown. Road Dogg points to Hunter and says, it's going to end up like yours.
They're joking that Hunter has a crush on Stephanie.
Yep. He says,
Foreshadowing there.
Hunter says, if Steph gets in my face, I'll make her look like Test. Implying they're going to break her nose too.
Yes.
Road Dogg says, you're going to make her 7 feet tall? Road Dogg made me laugh here.
Then there's a random line by, I believe, X-Pac, who says, they're trying to figure out why Vince is mad. And X-Pac just says, hey, let's do that fire. And someone else says, nobody knows we started that fire. And they all move on. So apparently there was arson somewhere that DX was responsible for.
They just confessed to here.
Basically, yeah, right here live on the air.
Huh. Yeah, I missed that whole bit. They did go on forever, I noted. They were in this limo a long-ass time.
Yeah, so someone from the building, we never find out who this is. Hunter's got a stooge. That's who's calling him and alerting him that Vince is at the building blowing a gasket. He's getting scoops from the building.
Yes.
And he's howling at what he's hearing that Vince is doing backstage.
So Shane and Scooby and the gang have moved to the parking lot. They have found Vince sitting in a car, sitting behind the wheel of a car with a baseball bat. They say, what are you doing out here? His response is, quote, it's a full moon. Leave me alone.
I'm just trying to get some fresh air.
He's a werewolf?
He's just trying to get some fresh air, Vinny.
So from the car, he books Shane and Test versus the New Age Outlaws for tonight.
I mean, basically, they just keep harassing him to get out of the car.
Yes.
He's telling him that he wants some fresh air, and finally he goes, damn it, you've got a match tonight. He sends them off to do their match. And they leave.
They left. Well, they got a match.
They should have called the cops.
Kurt Angle versus Mark Henry in a Battle of the Olympians.
Angle, he's been on TV for 2 weeks now.
Mm-hmm.
He is already a better promo than almost anybody today.
Today, yeah. This era.
Well, almost anybody back then as well.
There may have been 5 guys on the show better.
He's so fucking good. It's not even just like his delivery. I mean, it is his delivery. He delivers his lines because you know what his character is.
Mm-hmm.
He is a white meat babyface you're supposed to hate.
Yes.
It's all about himself. And the cadence with which he delivers his lines makes him even more appalling and hateable.
Absolutely.
But also great.
He's so arrogant.
Yes.
He's so full of himself.
And he's one of those guys who is, in fact, a heel who is telling the truth.
Yes.
And that's what makes you so mad. He says, there are 2 Olympians in the ring tonight. They are both 1996 Olympians.
Yep.
One of us won gold. One whose name I won't mention failed to do so. He says that Mark Henry stayed out all night at a topless bar the night before he competed and finished 18th, which he did finish 18th, by the way.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was at a topless bar, but everybody cheers like crazy for that. And then he, for the first time on Raw, brings up the 3 I's.
Yes.
Intensity, integrity, intelligence. With that, he said you would have placed first. It's incorrect, by the way.
He was not going to win with it.
No, he would have needed more strength.
Yeah. I can't think of strength where it starts with an I. So, promo was great. Match was short and fine. I like Kurt using the classic Greco-Roman cross arm breaker. He avoids a powerbomb and hit something like a Northern Lights suplex. And the ref counted 3, even though Mark's leg was under the ropes, nobody seemed to realize.
Or care.
Oh, God, we're back in the limo. So the limo drives up, and Vince smashes the limo car. Stone cold Vince McMahon.
Do you remember when they ran over Steve Austin?
Like 2 weeks ago.
And they did it very, very well.
One week ago.
You see the car coming. Or no, first you see Austin. It's all one shot. First you see Austin, then they zoom into the car, and as they zoom in, obviously Austin's getting out of the way and being replaced.
Yeah.
The car zooms in, it hits the stuntman, the car zooms away, Austin and the stuntman switch places, they go back, there's Austin lying on the ground. Obviously stuntman's involved. I'm watching this thing right here, and they show Vince in the car, and then they cut, and you see the car bang into the limo, and I'm thinking, okay, stuntman here. But then I'm watching, and it's not a fucking stuntman.
Oh, Vince smashed the
Vince
car.
is like, I'm driving in this fucking limo. He got in the car, and he's smashing in this limo like a crazy man. He's screaming. He's driving into this limo.
son of a bitch!
Destroying it. It's like, what a life. Well, I don't know if you're aware or not, but 2 weeks earlier, they went public.
Yeah.
So now they got a lot of money to burn. So they just destroyed a car. They destroyed a limo.
I want to destroy a limo. I'm not
Also,
paying somebody to destroy a
Vince
limo.
could
I want to destroy a limo.
live his dream.
Yes. So he destroys the limo with a bat. He chases DX away. And as I wrote here, this is illegal.
Oh, well, we'll get to that.
Yeah. So everyone's trying to calm Vince down backstage. Godfather versus Chris Jericho.
Well, before that, he's backstage, and what he's doing is he's got a baseball bat, and he's pounding on the locker room door that DX is trapped in.
Yes.
He's threatening to kill them with a baseball bat. So they are, in fact, trying to cuddle him to take it easy.
I wonder how much that door cost to replace. Big metal door like that in the arena?
Probably less than a limousine, be my guess.
Fair point.
I'm not sure.
What if somebody's job was to call the limo company and say, hey, do you have an old limo? What are you looking to get rid of? It's the cheapest limo we
There
can
was
get.
probably someone whose job was to call and buy an actual new limo.
Maybe it was
This
that.
fucking guy's crazy and rich.
No, it's that too. Godfather versus Chris Jericho. Jericho does a promo saying his image is tarnished just stepping into the ring with the Godfather and his brutally ugly pigs.
As opposed to breaking a woman's thumb on national TV.
Well, he's a bad guy.
I didn't realize this.
Feud.
I didn't realize this, but I'm remembering now that they have Raw and SmackDown, and Raw's on USA, and SmackDown, I guess, was on UPN.
I believe so, yeah.
In o'clock. So he couldn't have hose on SmackDown. So like on SmackDown, he's just a guy in a funny outfit. And then on Raw, he comes out with all these half-naked women. It's bizarre.
Strange times.
He had hose here this evening.
So he did, but then when Chris Jericho insulted them, he got very angry.
Well,
Because he's champion of women's
he's
honor.
champion of his women's rights.
I suppose so. So he tried to use one as a shield. Jericho did. They all beat him up, and then he won with AK Brada anyway.
Yeah, excuse me. Can we go over this finish really quickly? Jericho ends up outside. All of the hoes attack Chris Jericho. They're stomping, they're scratching, they're punching him. This leads directly to him getting in the ring, bulldogging, and line salting the Godfather and winning.
That's what happened.
What?
I don't know. That's what happened.
Can't even book a finish.
The finish was Chris Jericho no-sells the hose.
It's ridiculous.
And beats up the Godfather.
That's hard to do, actually.
Huh.
Yeah.
Cops are trying to calm Vince down. The cops are there. They're trying to calm Vince down, and then, hey, they arrest him.
Yep.
How about that?
Just like
But
real
then,
life.
They arrest him, they cuff him, and as they're dragging him away, the door opens, all of DX comes out. They fucking start attacking everybody, and
Yes.
Triple H punches a handcuffed Vince McMahon.
Yes, yeah.
How the fuck was that guy not arrested?
No. I don't have the answer to that one.
That's the biggest question on this entire fucking show.
I guess the cops were looking. I
This
don't
has
know.
happened before. Vince punched Austin when he was being arrested.
You guys were making fun of me last week because I was talking about the law. Okay? Can we all agree that Triple H should have been arrested?
Absolutely.
Yes.
All right. Well, go on, Vinny, because I'm going to get a text message from my main man.
Oh,
Vinny is giving me all the information about the Rock promo last week.
Jeez. Great. Edge and Christian versus the Dudley Boys. This is still the part of the Raw era where people are still bored by matches that go more than 90 seconds.
Yes.
So it's fine, but nobody cares. And maybe, I don't know, 4 minutes in, Christian gets on Edge's shoulders and superplexes Devon for the win.
yeah.
A crazy move.
There was at one point, Edge whipped Steve into the ropes, and he must have called a shoulder tackle, and then they both jumped in the air to shoulder tackle each other, and they smashed into each other's shoulders, and then they looked at each other for a minute, and then the match continued.
All right, so to be fair, I'm going to tell you the question I asked Vinny.
Okay, we were here.
If you were on duty as a cop, and I call you a donut eater, can you arrest me? Also, if you're on duty and ask you what your name is, and you were about to answer, and I scream, "It does not matter what your name is. Can you arrest me?" Vinny first responds, "I think someone got in your phone." I had to reiterate that this was a very serious question.
Yeah, you can tell.
So he says, every state, county, city can have varying laws regarding behavior regarding that. Like in Alaska, it is a misdemeanor to give the middle finger to a law enforcement officer.
Okay.
If you're in Alaska, do not flip off a cop.
Duly noted.
But generically speaking, you can say donut eater and many other things to us without getting arrested thanks to our Constitution. However, if I can articulate that The Rock was acting hostile towards me, fight indicators, invading my space, fighting words, I can defend myself.
That's the term I used last week.
I can defend myself with force and will most likely arrest and book and a few charges. If you can smell what Vinny is cooking here. Wrestling fan. Now, to be fair, I don't recall fighting words being, "It doesn't matter what your name is."
The Rock was in the cop's face.
He said you can stick a donut up your ass.
Okay, well, you might have me there.
Okay.
But that's from a cop, all right? I just want to clear this up.
Yeah, he's on my side.
Yeah. Well, maybe for that line.
Oh, jeez. Speaking of Rock, he shows up at the building. They're trying to interview him. As he walks down the hall, he's passed by the Job and Sock connection. And Mankind says, "Hey, Rock, nice shirt." Just casually like that, which I thought was odd. Rock also thought it was odd. Says, no. After the way you talked to me, after the way you left me hanging in that tag match, you don't get to say anything about my shirt. And he rips into Mankind for... This is the segment, by the way, where Brian was saying the audio was bad. He was right, but...
Yeah, what the fuck? I couldn't even hear the first thing that Mankind said.
Yeah. He said nice shirt. Yeah. So...
Those sound like fighting words. So The Rock?
So Rock, he gives Mankind a piece of his mind, but then he closes, "Just so you know, man to man, I never threw your book in the trash, and I carried you at the Royal Rumble."
Well, the key is he gave Foley the page number. So he proved to Mick that he actually read the book.
I see.
That's why Foley was so... Rock buries Al Snow.
Yes, which is also fun.
Who the fuck are you? Do you work at the building? I was crying with laughter. He buries Al Snow, buries head, tells him to shove head up his ass. And Foley, even though Al is his friend, he does not care.
No.
He's just so happy that The Rock read the book.
Right.
Moving on to bigger and better things.
I love this segment.
That makes Mankind and Al believable friends.
This was
It's funny when your friends get insulted.
incredible.
Thus the show. Vince arrives at the cop station. Next week, everyone, Test and Stephanie get married.
No, I can't wait.
Oh, yeah.
We are all cordially
At the
invited.
fucking Staples Center of all places.
Yes. Yes.
Dude,
Lienzo won't crash.
he won't.
I know.
We've been like 15 at the time. Younger, maybe.
But still.
Stephanie's bridal shower. They have cameras there.
Yeah.
Moolah and May got Stephanie handcuffs and leather and a whip. Okay. Jeff Hardy versus X-Pac.
I gotta say about that segment, though, that first off, Enzo Amore would have been 12. Okay?
Oh, wow. All right.
So, there's so many stupid skits on WWE TV nowadays. Just the fucking dirt worst. I loved the bridal shower skits.
Okay.
They were all so good. It's like, she's opening up presents, and here's who's in her bridal shower, okay? She's got like two friends.
Yes.
Her mother.
Yes.
Moolah and Mae Young.
Right.
Mae Young is drinking. Moolah and May give her handcuffs and a leather skirt. It was the best acting of Linda McMahon's career. She's just silently appalled, but smiling. May then whispers to Steph what she should do
thing.
on her wedding night. Stephanie acts all innocent and appalled at what she's heard. And then May starts drinking and getting out of control. And Mae Young is like the perfect Mae Young. This segment was great.
Did you notice when she pulled out the riding crop that Linda confiscated it?
Yes.
And put it in her purse.
Yes.
This is not appropriate for you, but I have plans.
Yes, Vince is going to get it.
If only she knew where he was.
Right. Jeff Hardy versus X-Pac. So, the Hardy brothers won the Terry Invitational Tournament, the TIT. And in case that abbreviation is too subtle for you, she comes out here, and her new entrance is she stands on stage, she opens her shirt, and just shows her breasts. Now, she got a bra on.
No, she doesn't.
It's a flesh.
She had a flesh-colored tight spandex top with no bra on.
Right.
So she may as well have just been naked.
Fair enough. But yeah, that's her interest now. She just flashes everyone.
Yes.
So she distracts the ref with said bosom. Matt hits a neck breaker on X-Pac. Hardy's openly cheating. Jeff hits a senton, but then Road Dogg breaks the pin, and Billy and X-Pac get a double team X Factor for the win.
This is the beginning of X-Pac heat. This finish right here. I remember being infuriated at the time. Because I remember, like, Jeff was great in this match, and it's not like X-Pac needed a win here. And they were doing all of this stuff, and Jeff's getting all these near falls, and they even had, like, a false finish with some interference. It would have been, like, a perfect finish. But instead, X-Pac pins Jeff Hardy. I was so mad at the time. And this is the beginning. He wins, like, on every single fucking show for, like, 2 years straight now. You'll see. Mark my words.
This was easily the best match.
Surprise, surprise.
Yeah. On either show.
Vince is getting fingerprinted.
Since they fucking put Benoit and Malenko in a flag match, but they didn't even know which flag they were supposed to get.
We'll get to that. Dude, you're spoiling Nitro.
No, I'm not. It sucked. That's not a spoiler. As Paul Heyman would say, that is a spoiler, actually. Forget it.
Okay.
That was for you, Rob.
Back in the bridal shower, Linda makes the announcement, we're all going to Vegas for a bachelorette party. And everyone cheers. May goes to get a slice of cake. Moolah kicks her into the cake. They have a big food fight.
Missed a few segments. We had Vince signing paper.
Getting fingerprinted.
He was very humiliated by it. Big Show got ready, and Moolah chastised May for being drunk.
Then Vince got his mug shots.
Yep.
That gotta happen.
Did we get it? Like,
Yes, he's in
do we
jail.
have to see 85? Like, it was like Vince had never been arrested before.
For a second, I thought you were mad at me.
No. And like, he wanted to know everything that happens when you get arrested. And who gives a shit? I'm rich. Let's just film all of it. It'll be a show line. I get fingerprinted. I write my name on this fucking paper. I take my jacket and my belt off so I don't hang myself. Like, it was just, I don't know. Cool.
A little unnecessary.
Not very exciting.
It was definitely not exciting.
The Big Show, who, if you have forgotten, is the heavyweight champion of the world, as I had, I think, versus Kane.
Speaking of not very exciting.
Who could care about this fucking match?
Kane
Not even
decides,
Filthy Tom.
I have one match a year against a guy bigger than me. I'm going to be a cruiserweight. I'm doing enziguris. I'm going up top and getting thrown off. I'm going to take a power bomb. He's still Kane. He's still huge. And Big Show does a power bomb and drops him on his ass, so his head whiplashes into the mat. It was brutal. So Viscera comes out and tries to kidnap Tori.
Big Vis.
Kane vaults over the top rope to attack Viscera. The only time in the entire match anyone got excited. Kane is counted out.
The ref counted, I think, by threes. It's the fastest count I ever saw.
Kane throws Viscera into the ring, and the Big Show grabs Viscera and hits a body slam. And it was really, really easy.
Yep.
And he held him up there for a long time.
That was like the most impressive thing on the show.
That's a scary, scary giant.
You got to think about this, Vinny. How many times? Who do you think Viscera went to wrestling school with?
I got no idea.
Okay. How many people do you think really in his career ever slammed Viscera? It's got to be like a small number, right?
Well, one hand.
I mean, how often did he get a chance to practice going up for a body slam?
Yeah.
And Big Show, how often did he get a chance to practice slamming a guy the size of Viscera?
The size of himself, yeah.
They fucking pulled it off like it was nothing. I was very impressed by this.
Yes.
This was way better than Luger slamming Yokozuna.
Much, yes.
Or
This was not
Hogan
just
slamming Andre.
It's not just a guy doing a cartwheel and the other one guiding him over.
No, he went up and the other guy turned him over and held him up and slammed him. I was very impressed by this.
This is 500 airborne pounds. Shane is on the phone, presumably with Vince, says, I called the lawyers, McDevitt's on the way.
Yeah, McDevitt.
They were in Buffalo. They acknowledged Dominic Hasek in the crowd. That guy was awesome. Hunter comes out for a promo. 5-minute entrance. Killed a lot of time. He shows the video of Vince smashing the DX limo. He says, this proves Vince was the same guy who ran over Austin. He says, I am the one who pressed charges, to which my reaction is, good. I'm glad someone did. DX, he says, stands for Law and Order in the World Wrestling Federation. I laughed. He challenges Vince to a match in Armageddon, says Vince is ass up, face down in his cell when Shane interrupts, So Vince, of course, being in prison, gets one phone call. The one phone call he made was to Shane.
Now, before we get to what Shane actually said, when I watched this show-long storyline, and Vince being humiliated in every other segment at the jailhouse, being put in jail, Vincent Kennedy McMahon, and it's all Triple H's fault or whatever, and Triple H had punched him on the way to jail.
Right, yeah.
I thought, okay, he's got to be fired. He's got to be fired, and then he marries Stephanie, and that's how he ends up back in. That makes sense, right?
That's very logical, yes.
Fuck, I was expecting Shane to just come out because Hunter's all cocky when Shane comes out. Hunter's like, I challenge your dad, and he didn't accept my challenge. And I thought, finally, we're going to have something logical. This guy stepped over the line. They're going to fucking fire him. You're fired, Hunter. You're out of here. You'll never be back. Next week is the wedding. That's how he gets back in. Nope. Shane comes out and says, Vince accepts your challenge. It's like, this fucking guy's got one phone call. He's calling Shane to tell him, I want a match with Triple H on pay-per-view?
Well, he also told Shane to call the lawyer.
Whatever.
My bigger problem is Vince apparently called Shane and said, Hunter is going to challenge me. When he does, I want to accept.
Well, it appears there had been a challenge before, because Hunter brought it
When?
up. I don't know, but Hunter said, I never got my answer to my challenge. So it probably happened on SmackDown.
Or maybe it was one of those
Or
segments
Heat.
where you couldn't hear it.
I see.
Yeah. There had been a challenge.
I see.
But the point is, that's your one phone call, is to accept the
Well,
fucking match.
there's that too.
How about calling your fucking daughter who's in the middle of her bridal shower? Maybe that kind of
Hi, honey, I'm in jail.
Well, yeah, you know, I'm in jail.
My wife was there.
I wish I could be there, but like I'm locked up.
Dads will go to bridal showers.
Well, I mean, maybe pick her up or drop her off.
Okay, you go to Daniel's bridal shower?
Absolutely.
Get out of
You
here.
regret missing the Daniel's bridal shower? Okay. So Shane books Hunter in a handicap match against both acolytes. Hunter dares him to come and fight, and he's about to when DX comes out. But then out come Test and the Stooges and the Hardys and the acolytes. So DX loses this 4-on-8 fight. And somewhere in here, apparently Billy hurt his leg,
Yeah.
and Nurse BB's caring for him.
Who cares?
Val Venus and the British Bulldog versus Too Cool.
Well, let's get a promo on the PTC.
L. Brent Bozell by
I have
name.
no idea how to remember that name. L. Brent
Because it's
Bozell
L. Brent
III.
Bozell.
They said this wasn't the only time they did this.
What's funny is when they mentioned L. Brent Bozell III, I thought, this guy's got to be dead by now.
I thought the same thing.
He's fucking 63.
Yeah.
Can you believe that?
What a dweeb.
Well, it's just the name, L. Brent Bozell III. It sounds like he had to have been 90 at the time. He was 44 years old. He was our age.
Yeah.
Trying to tell people what they could and could not watch on television.
Yes.
In the 90s.
That's why I call him a dweeb.
What a geek.
And in fact, if you look it up, he's still doing basically the same thing today.
Well, that's fine.
So Val comes out and says, instead of saying hello ladies, he says hello skanks.
I mean, for fucking God's sake, why isn't he going after WWE today? I'd back him today.
Before anyone can figure out why Val says hello skanks, the British Bulldog interrupts. So I'm trying to figure out why Bulldog and Val are a team, and then they immediately start fighting. Val gets bonked, he is pissed, he walks out. The Mean Street Posse is watching backstage. They're outraged, and they run out and they attack for the DQ. An absolutely terrible segment.
It is totally different watching this show in hindsight with the debut of Rikishi.
Yeah.
Because at the time, we didn't know Rikishi ran over Steve Austin.
Right.
Now we do.
Yes.
So this guy comes out, this fucking criminal, this homicidal maniac, and everyone's cheering him. And he's dancing. He's dancing with Too Cool, and everyone's all happy. And I'm like, this is a bad man.
He had an earthquake splash on Joey Abs, a Yokozuna splash on Pete Gas, and the pile driver on Rodney. And he dances with the Too Cool, as Jim Ross calls him, Rockishi. Like Rock Quiche.
Rock Kishi.
You ever notice how horrible a dancer Scotty 2 Hotty is?
That's the gimmick.
That's what makes him so great, though.
He's the worst. No rhythm at all.
That's what makes it so great, though. Shane tells Test he has it under control. Then in a very creepy, very uncomfortable segment, we go from Brian Christopher in the ring to the cops telling Vince, give us your belt before we put you in the jail cell.
I forgot about that.
Yes.
That sucks.
Here's another one.
That totally sucks.
Another one on Nitro.
I didn't catch that. I guess we'll find it. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I do. Anyway, so yeah, that was awkward. Test versus Road Dogg. Because Billy got hurt, Shane and Test lose their World Tag Team title match. Shane makes himself the special ref. So Road Dogg punches him. And then Test hits Dogg's own pump handle slam, complete with the humping. He hits this move, he makes a cover, and Shane delivers a fair count. And he gets the win. I can't rant about this. If I rant about every special ref we see the next 3 or 4 years, I'll have a heart attack. Vince is in jail, hanging out. Boss Man's cutting a promo about being the top contender when The Rock interrupts. It is the Big Boss Man and, I wrote Al Snow, that's not right. Prince Albert. Albert. Sorry, I'm confused. Big Boss Man and Prince Albert versus Rock and a mystery partner. Rock says there's only one partner he can trust, and that's the people. He promises to the people he will do.
What an idiot babyface.
He will do the rock bottom and the people's elbow. So as the match is going on, it's Bossman and Albert. They're huge. They're beating Rock up, and the Job and Sock connection watching backstage. And Mankind can't take it anymore. He runs out. He goes to the Rock's corner. He tags in. He's running wild places, going crazy. And then, as promised, Rock the rock bottom, and he hits the people's elbow. And then he lets Mankind get the pin. To a huge ovation. Everyone is so happy. This is what I want tag teams to do. I don't want tag teams to fight.
Well, I mean, to be fair, he had to let Foley get the pin.
Foley was legal.
Yes.
There's that, but...
Yes, but it was a happy ending.
Yes.
The fans were overjoyed.
Yes.
And, you know, I gotta bring this up. I don't know if this is what happened or not, but Raw last night was fucking horrible. But at the 9 o'clock... in the second hour, 9:45 p.m., all of a sudden, the Lucha House Party won a match. I couldn't believe my eyes. Because literally, there had been 1 hour and 45 minutes of heat. You think I'm kidding?
No, I don't.
The first hour...
They probably listen to our show and to
literally,
rib you.
The show starts out with Stephanie coming out and being hated.
That's heat.
And then we had, like, this 6-man that went 30 fucking something minutes. An elimination match. Ended up with all the heels winning.
The night after Survivor Series.
And then they beat up Braun Strowman for 10 minutes and injured him. And that was the entire first hour. Okay?
Jeez.
Then the very next... I forget what the next segment was, but it was another heat segment. It was literally an hour and 45 minutes of heat. Okay? Suddenly the Lucha House Party wins. I thought, wow. That's weird.
They're good guys.
So then next, Ronda Rousey's on. Ronda Rousey challenges Mickie James, and she wins. And I thought, okay, that's 2 babyface wins. We're done. Like, there's no way there's more than that. What?
Did the crowd cheer for Ronda?
Yes.
Okay, that's
yes,
important.
It was a huge babyface.
All right.
So, that's followed up by, I forget what the next one was, but there's another babyface win. Rude and Gable beat AOP. That's 3.
Right.
And then Natalya faces Ruby Riott, who broke her dead father's sunglasses to get heat.
Yeah.
She beats up the whole Riott squad and then beats Ruby Riott. 4 babyface fucking wins in a row. I was astounded. It wasn't like the show was great or anything like that, but just the fact that we got 4 happy endings in a row.
Happy endings, yes.
Okay, so today, like, everyone hates this fucking show. The ratings come out today, and the show, like, holds up great, and it was like a pretty fucking decent third hour, all things considered.
To a monster football game.
Yeah. And no one can figure out why.
A great football game.
And listen, I don't know if this is why, okay? But all I know is, starting at 9:45, they gave us 4 happy endings in a row in that third hour. I don't know. But as a fan, I mean, you know what wrestling is? It's bullshit.
What?
It's a bunch of guys fake fighting each other and women. Why do we watch that? As an entertainment escape, okay?
I don't know why.
So, like, it stands to reason that, like, if you're a fan of this genre...
Like a light bulb doesn't went off after 20 years. How do I do it?
Like, you'd sort of want to see, like, you know, people you like win. Right?
Sure.
Okay, well, I don't know if that's why the third hour did well. I just know that they had 4 babyface wins in a row, and it was a fine hour.
Well, it's...
And these fucking people, when The Rock and Mankind teamed up together, and the Rock and Sock connection were back, and they won a match... Like, this fucking place went crazy. They were so happy. I don't know why they don't do it more.
The Stooges are taunting Hunter about his match coming up.
They should have been taunting whoever wrote this show.
Vince's bail gets posted, but he is told specifically, do not go back to that arena. Triple H versus the Acolytes.
What a stupid match. Hunter's the top heel. He's facing two guys. They're just beating the shit out of him 2-on-1. Nobody gives a shit. There is no heat. And finally, he hits a chair shot. He goes to leave. Vince comes out, hits him with a chair, throws him off the stage, which Ross claims is 20 feet.
That's what he said.
Wow. That was the end.
That's a new one.
Right after, by the way, they've been brawling on the ramp to clearly show there's a giant table there.
Yeah, that's never there.
Right. There's happened to be one there. It blocked Hunter's exit. He's trying to flee, but there's a table there.
This main event sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, horrible. The only thing I can add is that Hunter now he was in DX, skinny in the Shawn, and he started to get bigger. Now he's getting enormous.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, wait till he comes back in that Royal Rumble.
Dude, I think of the Rumble in January, he's gigantic.
Well, he is gigantic then, but it's after he vanishes and then makes his big return, and he is enormous.
Yeah. You have my music ready.
Well, funny you should ask, Vinny. The answer is no. But I'll find some for you.
Craig, get the guitar.
Please do not get the guitar.
Play some tunes, Craig. The finishes on this show were pin in a tag match where one dude was too busy hitting guys with a chair to save his partner. Pin even though a guy's leg was under the ropes and nobody noticed. Clean pin, clean pin. Pin after all sorts of interference and shenanigans. Count out after distraction. Pin with a special ref. Clean pin. And then in your main event, no finish.
Oh, just wait. Let's talk about Nitro. Oh, yes, Rob. Excellent job with the flag.
Thank you. Just testing again. Carry on.
Rob, are you a middle child?
What's that?
Are you a middle child?
You forgot your flag.
That's on me.
That's your
I will take the heat for that one.
You raised the flag when you're gonna ask Rob a question.
I did.
God damn it.
Rob, are you a middle child?
No, I'm the oldest.
I am a middle child, and we have a reputation for being attention whores. So
I think it's just you.
maybe it's me.
Yeah.
Which child are you, Brian?
Dude, I'm the oldest.
That's a lie.
What are you talking about? Who's my fucking older brother?
I don't know.
I gotta say, Craig, it's an easy lie to disprove.
You are the oldest.
No shit, I'm the oldest.
Huh. Carry on.
Did you invent a mystery Alvarez
I
brother?
did, actually.
He did. I want to know more. Was it a male or a female?
I thought it was Tony. Go ahead.
He's still the oldest,
My
by the way.
sister's husband is my biological brother.
Understood.
That's fucking
I'm sure you
weird.
call
It is weird.
I'm sure you called him brother sometime.
I call everyone brother.
There you go.
Yeah.
Monday Night Show number 218.
Sometimes I call him dude.
November 22nd, 1999. Jeff Jarrett is walking around backstage with no shirt like a just announcing to nobody, it's my time, I'm the chosen one, I'm taking matters into my own.
That's how the show started.
Yeah.
What a bad show.
Walking around with his guitar and shirtless.
So here's a novel idea. Let's take the guy who was world champion of the other company, got unfairly screwed out of his championship, and everyone knows it. We'll sign him, and we'll put our belt on him. It took him 2 years to figure that out.
Yeah.
Bret Hart is world champion now.
Yeah, he won a tournament last night beating Chris Benoit.
Yeah.
So at least at the end of this bullshit tournament, they at least figured out, let's have two great wrestlers have a great wrestling match in the main event. And there was actually a clean finish.
Everyone, that is the storyline. The storyline is they tease a shitty finish. If you hit the pay-per-view to see a clean finish.
Yep.
They showed clips. There were a bunch of people trying to run in, but they showed here the outsiders trying to interfere. Why? Why would the outsiders interfere in a Bret Hart Chris Benoit match? What do they care?
Well, it'll make sense later.
I guess it does. Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
All right. So Bret cuts this promo. Says he thought about quitting this year. He has ups and his downs. Thanks his fans for sticking by him. Dedicates the win to his dad up in Calgary. Says, I want to do the right thing by a guy who I consider still to be the U.S. champion. I want to offer Bill Goldberg a title shot. Everyone cheers at Starrcade.
No.
Yeah, I go, boo.
I booed. That's the end.
I thought the end was last Starrcade.
No, the super kick of doom.
Oh, that end. Yeah.
Fuck.
So the outsiders, in fact, interrupt. Hall appeared to be drunk.
I thought that too because, I thought for sure he was fucked up, but he managed to get his entire promo out totally fine.
Yeah. He's wearing a Michigan Strip Club T-shirt, which
The landing strip.
he pointed out later. So he's clearly not.
Got a huge pop.
They buried so they buried Bret for his Boy Scout ways. Here's the difference between Bret Hart and Kurt Angle. Angle says essentially, "I am a Boy Scout, therefore you should all follow me." Bret does not say he's a Boy Scout. He just acts that way and stands for honor and integrity. And the bad guys all make fun of him. And it was the '90s, so they cheer for the bad guys anyway.
At one point, Scott Hall said, Brett, you should take some lessons from the outsiders because we are the reason that WCW is the place that it's in right now. Has he been watching this show?
They took credit for taking WCW from the outhouse to the penthouse.
They actually turned it around twice.
Yeah, it's very impressive. They eventually challenged Bret and Goldberg to a tag match. Bret accepts. I'm wondering if anyone's going to ask Bill if he wants this match. But then out comes Jeff Jarrett, who lays out Bret with a guitar shot, says this belt belongs to him, and poses with it as they debut his Kid Rock knockoff music.
This guitar was so heavily gimmicked that the pieces, when they exploded into the air, fell like leaves from a tree.
I had the funniest video of Paisley. I took her to Granny's house for Halloween.
You smashed her with the guitar?
There's a point to this. And she's got a little Halloween costume on, and Granny wants to take a picture of it. And so Granny goes, Paisley, turn around. And so Paisley's 2, so she turns all the way around.
I see, yeah.
And Granny's like, no, turn around. And so she just keeps turning in a full circle, and Granny's trying desperately to take a picture of the back. Paisley is the outsiders.
Sure.
Actually, yes.
They turned it all the way around.
I confirm.
It was shitty. They turned it around, and then they turn it around again.
As the outsiders noted here, we do whatever we want, whenever we want, to whoever we want. Paisley's the outsiders.
Yes.
Yes.
There's so many correlations here. She acts like Hall half the time.
Yes.
Drunken. Stumbles around and slurs her speech.
Yes.
Falls down all the time.
Wacky hairdo.
Yep.
Yep. Mike Tenay interviews Kurt Hennig,
They
who is
have remarkably similar hair. When Hall's hair is down.
Yeah.
God damn.
Is she gonna start shaving now? Give her the stubble.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mike Tenay interviews Kurt Hennig, who was pinned at Mayhem. His career is over. Says
I watched this fucking show for weeks, and they paid it off at the pay-per-view. That actually makes me mad. God damn it. You know what? No one else bought that pay-per-view either. That pay-per-view died a death.
Of course it didn't. So Kurt says he's there. He's got one more thing left to do. He'll never wrestle for WCW ever again. He's a man of his word. And he said if he got pinned, he'd never wrestle again. He did? I thought it was forced upon him.
Well, I mean, he agreed to it, I guess.
He did?
I don't think he had a
Well, I mean, he
choice.
kept wrestling.
So the whole time he's talking...
That's the least of our problems in
True.
this
That's fair.
illogical
That's
universe.
fair. The whole time he's talking, the maestro is performing.
This was a misstep. Okay. Like, I don't want to, I'm just going to cut to the end right here, okay? Throughout this fucking show, every time they're backstage, the goddamn maestro's playing this fucking piano.
Yeah.
So, 3 hours into the show, David Flair shows up with a fucking crowbar and beats the shit out of him and destroys it. I was cheering for him. Thank you, David Flair.
I'm sure that was the intent.
I don't think so.
I believe that was the intent.
Are you kidding me?
Was
Do
it
you even
cheer
know
for the
what
maestro?
Do you know what happened at the pay-per-view with him and Kimberly?
No.
It's like a complete disaster. Like, Arn Anderson came out, he beat the shit out of Arn with the crowbar and killed him, and Arn did his stretch. A total heel thing.
Yeah.
But it's not a baby face.
The people writing this show have no idea what a heel and babyface is.
Well, that's true.
Yes.
Did you notice who the girl was with the maestro?
Yeah, it's...
Was that Ryan Shamrock?
It was Ryan Shamrock,
I
yeah.
love that. I didn't know. I recognized her, but I didn't remember her being there. Kidman is upset. His camera's missing. And he's mad at Eddie for something. Filthy animals are breaking out, everybody. I hope you all will be okay with that. Oklahoma and Dr. Death are here. Why? They're walking.
Just walking.
They walked
They did.
for an hour.
Yeah, they did their laps around the
Literally
building.
an hour later, they're walking again.
Yes.
How big is this fucking building?
Why was Dr. Death in all these segments in this 1999 WCW run wearing Hawaiian shirts and Dockers?
It's, because he's Doc.
Hey, I'm not going to tell him what to wear, but...
Yeah, shut the fuck up then. He'll kick your ass.
Oh, he would.
He can wear whatever he wants.
That's fair. That's fair.
What do you expect him to wear? A cowboy hat?
No.
A doctor's outfit because he's Dr. Death? Should he have been in
Something
Jeans
athletic.
and a t-shirt, just a muscle shirt showing off his giant arms.
He had a heck of a tan.
Very tan.
Maybe he was in Hawaii before this show.
That's possible. That's possible. Johnny the Bull and Big Vito in their Nitro debuts were meeting with Tony Marinara. Amazingly awful segment.
Yes.
So in like 1992, I wrote a big, long history of Vince Russo for my book. 100 Things Every WWE Fan Should
you
Know
writing a book?
Before They Die. I am, in fact. I tried to write it as absolutely, positively, fairly as humanly possible.
How'd that go?
That's why they didn't give me the book.
So anyway, he had a video store, a chain of video stores, in the late 80s. And then Blockbuster opened up across the street. And he was like, that's the beginning of the end. So he was sponsoring this local radio show. He desperately wanted to get into wrestling. He used to have wrestlers come to his video store for like signings, that sort of thing. And anyway, the point of this is he went to, I believe it was Gleason's gym. And he was training to be like a manager, okay, going through bumps and everything like that. So one of his very first buddies in the early 90s was Big Vito.
Okay.
So Russo gets the book, WCW. 2 weeks later, Big Vito.
Amazing.
He's now a WCW superstar here with Tony Marinara. And Johnny the Bull from the Power Plant.
Yes. So I believe this is the first time in his life Big Vito had ever seen a television camera.
Yes.
Because he kept looking at it. Over and over and over and over
Well, I mean,
again.
in storyline, Vinny,
Yeah.
they're plotting a murder.
They were.
And there's goddamn cameras right there.
Yeah, he kept
So
talking.
I'd be looking at it too, like, can you shut that fucking thing off
I
there?
just figured his line on the top of the thing.
That's possible. That's
Could
also
also be.
possible. So the boom mic gets in the shot at one point. Disco's in the background. He gets scared and walks away.
Jeez.
They're talking about the hit they're going to do, and towards the end, it's revealed Vito doesn't even know who they're killing. And Tony says, "It's Disco, you idiot."
Did you see Disco come back? They
Was that Disco in disguise?
yeah, he had
Okay.
he had a big full beard on.
Got it.
And,
Well, that's why it worked.
and he snuck in.
Hey, his disguise worked. I didn't recognize him. I saw there was a guy back there. It didn't occur to me it was Disco. He just had to happen to have a hat and fake beard with him.
If you're gonna do a comedy
All right.
gag, you should at least see it.
All right. Hey, credit to the WCW. You made it funny, and I didn't catch it. Luger's meeting with Russo. He wants him to book. He wants him to book. This is the match Lex Luger wants to happen.
Yes.
Meng versus Miss Elizabeth.
Yes.
To which Vince says, "It sounds great."
Yes.
It does.
Ratings.
To who? Who? What? Ratings. This means people's gonna watch it. Who's gonna watch Meng and Elizabeth?
To the one guy that matters, Vince Russo.
So Vince Russo by himself is going to be watching the. So he declares, "I can't book Liz in a match. She's not under contract to me. She's under contract to you." Lex explains that she spends thousands of dollars of money. She needs a job. She has to do whatever I say. I promise I'll make it happen. And Russo says, "This sounds too good to be true." And again, what's good about it? But he agrees. Then we cut to Liz watching a monitor. She's the only person on the show who watches Nitro. And then
The most horrific acting.
she's
Yes.
acting.
In the history of wrestling.
Linda McMahon's never been this bad.
No. They go back to the announcers, and Tony Schiavone says these 5 words. Payback for Elizabeth last night. What the fuck happened? Okay, the last time I watched this show, Elizabeth and Luger were together. Okay. I tune in this week, and Luger is trying to get her killed.
Yes.
There's no recap. There's like no verbal or video recap. I don't know what happened at the pay-per-view where now he wants her dead. What happened? I don't know. Apparently somehow she embarrassed him. That's all I got out of this. This is a bad television show.
Now, Brian, I don't want to steal your gimmick, but this is 8 segments before the first wrestling match.
Let's check my count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I fucked it up. I'll count again.
Okay. Creative Control versus the Filthy Animals. So they're doing this tag match, and then suddenly the camera, like, Kidman's on the apron, and I'm looking at a camera shot that's showing the back of his head.
I had 9.
Yeah, no, I may have missed one.
Yeah.
I'm looking at a camera shot that's a close-up of the back of Billy Kidman's head.
Yes.
So this means Billy had to be standing on the apron, and the cameraman had to be, like, behind him and holding on the rope so he didn't fall to get the shot.
Yes.
It's ridiculous.
Sure.
So
Well,
eventually...
they wanted it so that they could see what you were seeing, which was Kidman looking at the screens.
Right.
To see Eddie Guerrero and Tori flirting.
How could have Kidman seen that screen?
Or, as Schiavone called it, hanky-panky.
Yes.
This is not the Jumbotron they have at
No.
At Raw.
No, there's
This is like a 55-inch television that they mounted above.
hanging up over the ceiling, over and behind the stage.
Yes.
Yeah. So Kidman is outraged. He goes running to the back, and Creative Control hits a double slam and gets the win. And I thought, okay, short little tag match, a wacky angle, the guy got pinned, whatever.
Oh, no.
And then I forgot.
Yes.
This is for the World Tag Team Champions.
Creative Control are the new World Tag Team Champions.
That's how they won.
Yeah.
The other guys, one of the other guys quit to go beat up the guy who was hitting on his girlfriend.
Yes.
So we go backstage to show the guy attacking the guy who was hitting on his girlfriend, and it's so important that we then go to somewhere else in the back.
Yes. Kidman attacked Eddie. Eddie Guerrero and his girlfriend were making out, and Kidman got mad at Eddie.
Which is fine. I understand. But like in the middle of this brawl,
How about the other half?
what are you mad at Tori do? Well, we'll get to that.
He wasn't.
We'll get to that. This is in the middle of this brawl, which is so important that Kidman walked out of a World Tag Team title match. And then they cut away to somewhere else in the back. Mike Tenay is interviewing Bret Hart and Bill Goldberg. Bret's ranting about the Outsiders and Jarrett, and Bill says, listen, you go take care of Jarrett. Leave the Outsiders to me. And Tenay says, you'll take on the Outsiders in a handicap match? Bill says, not necessarily. Stacy Keibler,
Now Sky,
Sky is her
because
name.
she's tall.
She's tall. She does not want Spice to wrestle. I don't either.
This is the most atrocious acting. She was somehow worse than Elizabeth, which I did not think that was
That's a
possible.
hard question to answer.
She was worse than Liz.
I can't disagree.
She was worse than Miss Elizabeth.
They were.
Can we just say they were both horrible?
They were. Oh, they were.
Of course they were.
They sure were.
But
Jesus.
yeah, Sky was very bad.
Kurt meets with Buff Bagwell. Says, listen, I know you pinned me last night to end my career, but I want you to know you were doing your job. There's no hard feelings. As they're talking, the maestro is playing piano again. Now, as Brian explained, the maestro's music is throughout this show, but at this point, we'd only heard it in 2 segments. And both of them were where Kurt Hennig was talking. So at the time, I assumed the maestro, the first time we actually saw him, he was in the background, you can see him. I assumed he was dragging this giant grand piano around the building to wherever Kurt was and playing whenever he started to talk. Norman Smiley comes out, cuts a promo on being hardcore champ. It's horrendous. This fucking promo.
Fans are chanting boring. He says, I'm so hardcore I drank milk 2 days past the expiration date. More boring chants.
I like when he stopped in the middle of his promo to pull a hair out of his mouth. That was
Yes.
a great moment. An open challenge. Out comes the returning Fit Finley.
Yes. And by the way, it was true that he nearly had to have his leg amputated
Yes.
after the Junkyard Battle Royal. Here he is.
The match right after that, we later learned.
Yes, here he is a few months later. He's got this giant brace in his lower leg. He fucking beat the shit out of Norman Smiley.
He sure did.
And looked better with one leg than almost everyone else does with 2.
Absolutely.
This man's amazing.
He beats him and he beats him and he beats him. In the middle of the beating, they cut to the announcers who run their mouths for a while.
There's no match.
No.
He just beat him and then they just cut away.
Backstage, Luger is
No. Tony Schiavone plugged O-Day WCW. The WCW cologne.
That's right. Oh,
You missed it?
I tuned him out.
Oh, you shouldn't have tuned him out. He had a box of it. It's got that fucking horrific logo.
I gotta see what
on
this
it.
is going for on eBay.
Find it.
I will.
You see, you find out what it smells like.
Shit.
Booze and sweat, I assume. Oh, so then Lex is chewing out a lip as the maestro played.
Said he was humiliated last night. She needs to learn a lesson. Doesn't tell us what happened, why this is occurring, why he's mad at her, what she did. I still have no idea. And I read The Observer about this show.
Today interviews the Outsiders. They are not worried about Goldberg, and they're getting the band back together.
Yeah, so they said they have a plan for him. And Hall says, let's bring in that Riot Squad. Nash says, no, that gimmick backfired.
Yes. That was funny.
Yeah. Sometimes he's funny.
Well, when he's funny, he's very...
Like the 10% of the time that he's funny, he's really funny.
Yeah.
The 90% of the time that he's not funny, he is very not funny.
Yes.
Some guy wants $150 for his bottle of nitro perfume.
Oh, really? Wow.
It's the only one I see.
I will take that for the Christmas show. I know it's $150, and I said don't spend any money on the gift, but I'll take that. I need to know what it's. I need the scent of WCW permeating the studio.
Now,
More so than it does on the average Tuesday.
the scent of death and crippling debt. Chavo tries to sell jewelry to the Italians. I think this is the segment where Disco is in the background. I mistakenly said he was in the earlier segment. This is the one where he shows up, leaves, and comes back in disguise.
Hey, Chavo found two good guys to try and sell gimmicks to, though.
They were
into it.
This was a good audience, a good customer. Well, that's another word. Customers, I was going to say, Craig.
Marks.
The maestro was also playing in this segment. Tanay interviews Jarrett. He says he'll beat Brett for the title tonight. Evan Courageous versus Saturn. So they're recapping some sort of tag match of the pay-per-view or something. And Tony actually explains the finish thusly. Saturn hit a low blow on Tori and got and I thought, well, he must have screwed up and gotten their names mistake. That's live TV, that can happen. But no, the more he explained it, I was surprised she lasted that long. That's what actually happened, apparently. Saturn pinned Tori Wilson with a low blow.
Yeah.
I'm so happy I didn't watch that show. I'm so happy I didn't watch that
Still
show.
can, you know.
No, I can't. So,
This match was so weird because it's Saturn versus Evan Courageous.
that's a good point. That's
Yes.
a weird match.
Yes. So they're doing this match, and you can hear the crowd not really all that into it and everything like that. And then suddenly Saturn puts on the Ring of Saturn, and they pipe in crazy screaming out of the crowd.
Yes.
I don't know what they were covering up, but they were covering something up. I don't know if they played a weird song or I don't even know, but Asia texts Medusa, there's a pull apart. And who was the stone guy doing commentary? I wasn't paying attention.
Buzzkill.
Oh, fuck.
Brad Armstrong. Brad Armstrong, because that's Buzzkill. He says it's not about drugs. He's high on life, and then he talks like he's stoned for 10 minutes.
Yeah, he comes to the table and this is Buzzkill, and Bobby Heenan says, "Hello, Mr. Kill."
Bobby's great. Yeah. So yeah, Buzzkill's here now. It's Brad Armstrong imitating his brother. He said who won, right? Saturn won with the Rings of Saturn.
Yes.
So Kidman's cutting a promo on Eddie. Tori's right there with him.
Yeah.
As Brian noted, he's not mad at her.
No.
Have you seen her?
It's clearly all Eddie's fault that those two were happily making out together.
Yes, he says he wants to fight Eddie tonight, and he hopes it was worth it. Okay.
Maybe it was.
Yeah, so can you imagine if they did this angle in 2018? A full thousands of signs just reading "cuck" was holding up. That's what it would say. That's literally the definition of that word is what Billy Kidman is here. That is what it is. Oh, by the way, the maestro was playing throughout this segment.
Yes, he was.
Vampiro and the Misfits are here. They are walking. Oklahoma and Dr. Death are here. They are also walking.
Yes.
Today interviews Eddie as the maestro plays. And he says, "I'm not proud, but what's done is done." I don't read this whole thing. I wrote it down. I'm not proud, but what's done is done. And sometimes things turn out to be what they really aren't.
I just wrote, not sure what Eddie is rambling about, but he accepts the match with Kidman.
Yes.
Did that cover it?
He is upset Kidman won't listen to him, so now they're going to have to fight.
Ugh, it's terrible.
Wall versus Vampiro. Dr. Death and Oklahoma come out. So
Not this match. There's nothing to say except this. All four fucking misfits, there's four of them.
Yeah.
All four misfits attack the wall right in front of three guesses.
Nicholas Patrick.
Nick fucking Patrick. It's not a DQ.
No.
Then Alex Wright hits Vamp with a chair, and that's a fucking DQ.
Yes. Yeah.
Fuck you. I hate this show.
It's terrible.
It makes no sense. It's stupid. Wall and Berlin are now breaking up.
Yes. this long time faction.
So Steve Williams
So
hits the
trash.
ring, he kills the fucking misfits, and then Vamp kicks him and he takes this awesome flip bump to the outside.
Talk is awesome.
Oklahoma has to hold him back. I'm so fucking sick of Oklahoma. Dude. That match had to go so long so they can all laugh at his commentary.
Yeah. That was awful. Jarrett and Creative Control are walking backstage. Jeff is wearing Brett's belt. Brett is walking backstage. And then Miss Elizabeth has a cunning plan. To avoid this match with Meng, she will find a shark cage. Because every sports arena in the United States, in Michigan for that matter, sure, has a shark cage laying around.
Well, you got to put the drunk somewhere.
She locks herself in a shark cage.
Why not?
A limousine arrives. We look at it for a long time, and nothing happens. Jeff Jarrett versus Bret Hart for the world title. So, this is just a nothing TV match, but
Let me say what I got out of this match. It had a ton of heat.
yeah.
Jeff Jarrett had a ton of heat. And in 1999, the idea of Jeff Jarrett as the world champion was fucking ridiculous. But if you look at it through the 2018 eyes, and you look at the people that have made world champion in the last 19 years, he was as fine a choice as anybody else.
Sure.
Now, of course, we got to look at it like it was 1999. This was a terrible decision. But, I mean, he had heat. He
could work.
He was the same size as Brett,
Yeah.
largely. He could work. I mean, his interviews are horrific. If I hear slap nuts one more time, I don't even know what
It's
else.
just getting started.
So, Dustin Rhodes KO'd Jarrett with the belt. Creative Control chased him to the back. Brett puts him in the sharpshooter, wins. It's fine. Pretty good match.
The only thing I can add to this is they did a spot where Jeff tried a sunset flip and Brett sat down and hooked the legs. He did the greatest sunset flip counter roll up you ever saw. He hooks these legs and he leans all the way forward. His head's on the mat. If this had been a shoot, Jarrett would have been fucked. Brett could have pinned him for 20 seconds. It was awesome. It was a fucking sunset flip counter because Bret Hart ruled. Lex is meeting with Liz, who's still in her shark cage.
So Luger says, listen, Liz, I'm sorry about what happened. If you let yourself out of this cage, I will go and cancel the match. Liz is the biggest fucking idiot in the last segment, too. She gives him the key, okay? She gives him the key.
Right. The
Okay.
key she gave to him.
Yes. He then takes the key, and he says, God damn it, you're doing the match. If you don't get out and wrestle, I'll put the cage in the ring. He leaves.
He's got the key.
How the fuck is she going to get out of this fucking cage?
Lex didn't think that one through.
The writers didn't think that one.
That's also true.
What is it with girls in cages? Because when Russo was booking TNA, remember that?
He likes cages. He likes poles. I mean,
Do
we
the math,
could go
Rick.
on and on.
Cages, girls in cages and poles.
A limo arrived. We go back to Liz. Sure as shit, she can't get out without a fucking key. Sting shows up. Sting, can you help? He says, you made your own cage. Now you have to sleep in it.
Did we add that Liz's whole plan was to be locked in a cage? Now that she's locked in a cage, she's upset?
Yeah.
Her plan's working.
Well, she didn't notice that you could stick a forklift forks through the top of the cage and actually drive it to the ring.
Yeah, but the point is, like, okay, she's in the ring in a cage. What the fuck is Ming gonna do? I mean, we later found out, but I mean, this storyline is absolutely idiotic.
Yes. Speaking of which, Kidman versus Eddie Guerrero. So as they're wrestling, or maybe coming out, the announcers get into the whole thing with Arn Anderson. He was fired last night. They didn't know he was an agent until we started talking about him, and so they fired him. That's the storyline. The storyline is the guys in charge have no idea what the fuck is going on.
I didn't hear a word you said.
Doesn't matter.
I'm so zoned out.
That's fine.
In the 84th segment here.
So nobody cares about Kidman and Eddie Guerrero because let's see, it's the Filthy Animals. They've been together for maybe 3 months, and that whole time it's never been clear if they're good guys or bad guys. And now they're fighting. Why would anyone care? Kidman accidentally gets low blowed. He does not want to stop the match. Revolution jumps Conan. Kidman goes up for the shooting star press. Tori distracts him. Eddie goes up top. In the middle of all this insanity, Eddie goes to they're both standing on the top rope. Eddie does a double overhook suplex. Suplex him over his head. It was awesome. And a frog splash for the win. Russo tells Creative Control to bring Hacksaw to him. And also go find out who's in the limo. And then Jarrett runs in. He yells at Creative Control for a while. As I wrote here, Meng is being Meng in the hallway. Lex is a forklift for Liz's cage. Creative tells Hacksaw to go see the boss. Tenay interviews Spice. Sky again asks her not to go through with it.
I gotta say, Spice was a better promo than almost anybody in the business today. She was actually really good. You didn't notice because you're busy, like,
Writing everything down.
Stacy Keebler, who's fucking horrific.
That too.
Spice was a great talker.
Meng versus Elizabeth. Liz's cage is in fact carried down to the ring by forklift and then raised and placed into the ring.
This was like them bringing the princess to King Kong.
Yes. Yeah, that's actually true. Yes, she is the sacrifice. So the match starts, but she's in a cage. So it's all Meng shaking the door and trying to bend and break the bars. Lex comes out. He offers the key to Meng. Meng's crazy. He puts the death grip on Lex. There was no doubt in my mind that the ref's going to count the pin, and that would be the end of the match. No, he just puts Lex out with a death grip. He takes the cage apart more, and then Sting attacks him with a bat for the DQ. And he opens the door. He does not rescue Liz, but he gives her a means to escape her on her own. That was awful. Goldberg is talking to somebody that we can't see. We get outside of the limo. There was a wooden figure they claimed was the driver sitting behind the wheel of this limo. Could have been a real human being because he's just sitting there staring blankly.
Camera shy.
Behind the wheel of the limo. It's been like 30 minutes. He's just sitting there.
Probably fell asleep.
With his
Like I'm
eyes
about
open.
to.
It happens.
The outsiders were doing something, getting warmed up, I guess.
They were laying around.
They cut to Duggan, who stands there and waits for his cue, then walks forward. He sees the maestro playing the piano. If any of you were fans of The Muppet Show, and you remember Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem,
Yes.
Hacksaw was Animal, the maestro was Dr. Teeth, and Animal took over the keyboards for the segment. That's exactly what happened.
The segment sucked.
One of the better things in the
It
show.
had its charm.
I will share a still shot of Hacksaw howling at the moon as Maestro looks
Can
visually
we
at the
get
camera.
going here? Jesus Christ.
Lash LaRue versus Disco Inferno.
No dancing from Disco. He loses clean. They're still pushing Lash LaRue. I don't know why. Vito and the crew try to kill Disco. Lash makes a save. The storyline is, I swear to God, they're trying to kill the Disco Inferno.
Yes, there's an attempted murder going on. They want to abduct him and then end his life. And he still goes to this fucking building. Stay home. Also, Lash and Disco, after wrestling each other, now they are friends. Lash helped Disco put Tony into a body bag, and then they just left him there. Creative Control finds the limo. Nothing happens. They come back. They're talking to security. The limo's alarm is going off. I had to mute it. This fucking car alarm just driving me nuts. I have no idea what happened. I don't care. Russo is upset at Hacksaw for using his toilet last week. I was really sick, Hacksaw says. I had the runs. Russo tells me to go clean the toilet with a toothbrush. Move on.
He says he has done significantly worse things in his own personal toilet, and he wants Hacksaw to use a toothbrush. There's a reason I give the details of this.
Okay. Spice versus Tigress.
This was the ninth circle of hell. The announcer is busy putting over how great it is. Spice allegedly gets a fingernail in the eye. Now Tigress is sad. Sky gets in the ring. Everybody goes nuts. They're filming as far up our asses as they could possibly film. She then takes a makeup kit. She hits Spice with the fucking lamest shot in the history of combat.
If she had hit Paisley with the exact same shot, Paisley would have laughed at her.
Guaranteed.
Yeah.
Sky and Tigress put makeup on Spice. Fucking atrocious.
Miserably bad.
Jenna Maraska.
I'm not
laughing at how bad this is.
I'm not sure which one said it, but one of the announcers says, there's a big difference between dancing and wrestling. And there sure is. Tanay interviews Meng as the maestro played. This is the best thing in the show.
Meng spoke English.
Yes, and Tanay acknowledged it's very rare we hear you speak, but I understand you have something to say. Meng is no fool. Sting stick his nose where it doesn't belong. He tried to use the bat to crush my head. Well, let me tell you something. I want to challenge him tonight. No disqualification. And he can use the bat. I will use my hands. Ah!
You're the loudest fucking guy in the world.
Why didn't Meng do more promos? That was awesome. You're excited. You're excited by Meng's promos. Kurt comes out for a promo. He's too emotional. He can't speak. He leaves. Here's an entire segment. I'm not making this up. The limo door opened. Yep. End. Hacksaw is in fact cleaning a toilet with a toothbrush, but it's the boss's toothbrush, conveniently kept in a gold case and left on the
So he's been told that Russo has done horrible things to the toilet.
I know where you're going with this.
And he wants to have him clean it with a toothbrush. Hacksaw goes in, he sees, oh, this fucking moron Russo has left his goddamn toothbrush here. I'll clean the toilet with his toothbrush. He could just go into the stall and they cut away. They follow him into the stall.
The toilet's pristine.
They get a close-up of the toilet. It is as clean as any toilet has ever been.
On top of that,
And they do anything right.
on top of that, when Hacksaw walked into the bathroom, he opens up the stall, he goes, ooh.
Yeah.
And he shudders to a pristine toilet.
Awful.
Roddy Piper comes out for a promo. Buries the writers. Says the only time the wrestlers see the writers is when they're in the showers. Says they all write about TNA and sex because they can't get any. At this point, his mic gets cut. He was trying to get mics that keep getting cut. He drags the producer backstage, takes me to Russo's door, kicks the door in. There's creative control. Russo says, "Let him go. I want to hear what he has to say." And Piper turns, and he is shocked to see Vince Russo there. Now, I understand Piper lived in the hills of Oregon, pretty far off. But he went to Nitro and didn't know Vince Russo was in charge. I'm skeptical.
It wasn't that. He couldn't believe what he looked like.
Maybe that's it.
That's what it was. It was like it may have been like a Wizard of Oz reference here. Like, this is the fucking guy behind the curtain?
I guess so.
This skinny, goofy-looking guy?
I
You
guess.
kidding me?
Maybe that was it. So he says Russo can't screw him. He's a legend. He's got a bank account. He says he'll beat Russo to death if he ever cut his mic again. Russo retorts, says Piper is 50. He is down to one hip. He needs to join Flair and Hogan in the retirement home. Piper says, I got a contract. You've got to pay me and I can appear. Russo says, okay, you can appear. Here, you are now a referee. Tosses him a shirt. If you refuse, that's a breach of contract and I'll sue you. Piper hangs his head and he leaves.
He says, yes, sir.
Next segment, Piper goes to his limo, gets in and leaves.
He's ranting, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I will referee. Yes, sir.
Let's see. Goldberg is going through his gear. Buff Bagwell versus Booker T. Nobody gives a fuck. Creative Control is out there. Buff hits a blockbuster. Creative lays him out. Hennig is out. Hennig pulls Creative Control off of Buff Bagwell. Then he hits him with a Hennigplex. Patrick and or Gerald count 3, and then the bell rings.
I don't know the finish.
I believe it was actually just a DQ.
Whatever. But the point is, Hennig has joined Creative Control.
Yes.
Remember how over the West Texas Rednecks were?
Yes.
Yep. Kurt Hennig is now part of Creative Control.
We'll see if he can do
with
it again.
Patrick and Gerald. Spoiler, he doesn't.
So they're beating up Booker. Midnight's dong strikes, and she makes the save.
Yes.
The outsiders are warming up. Russo congratulates Kurt, sends Creative Control to go get Juventud Guerrera.
Make sure to note that Hennig is now the boss.
Mm-hmm.
Patrick and Gerald not happy with this.
No.
They just got together.
Like 10 minutes ago. Tenay interviews Sting as the maestro played music. Liz shows up, thanks Sting, offers to manage him. Sting, the smartest moment of his on-screen career, turns to Sting and says, you buying any of this? Because I'm not. No thanks, Liz. It's like the only time Sting ever failed to fall for the bad guy's trap. Ever.
Yeah.
Medusa versus Asia.
Oh, fuck. Dude, this is one of these things about Russo, okay? You can make fun of his booking. You can make fun of his stupid ideas and his storylines and his swerves and everything else. A gigantic problem is I don't even know how to explain this, okay? How the fuck do you take someone like Asia who can't work and go, you know what? This match is going to get like 6 minutes.
Dude, he put the Spice Girls out there to...
Yeah, but that was like a 30-second thing. Like, I guarantee this match was longer than Chris Benoit versus Dean Malenko.
Yeah.
Okay. You got Chris Benoit and Dean Malenko.
Yeah.
You fucking idiot. Okay, they're good. Give them time. You got Asian Medusa. It's fucking horrific.
Yeah.
Why are they getting like 6-7 minutes?
I don't have an answer.
It was so bad. He had like no concept of, if I put these two together, is the match going to be good or is it going to be bad? Well, it's like there was no concept of that. It was like, I'm just going to make matches. I'm going to pair everybody. It doesn't matter who goes with who. And I'm just going to give everybody random amounts of time. That makes for a fucking terrible show.
It sure does.
This was so bad.
It was awful.
And then fucking Asia wins.
How does she win,
With
right?
a shitty hold, I wrote. She used her gigantic quadriceps to squeeze Medusa's neck.
She applies a head scissors.
Fuck.
The same basic hold Eddie Guerrero and 1,000 other guys would do in the middle of a match. They do a snapmare, and they do a head scissors, and they catch their breath, they do the next spot. And they're doing this, and I figure they're going to do something horrible. And next thing I know, the bell is ringing, and Medusa has given up.
Yep.
Because Asia's legs are big.
Medusa looked like she would have cared to have been anywhere else.
Yeah.
There was no way she was into this.
Could we give Chris Benoit and Malenko maybe 12 minutes without fucking flags? Could we give Kidman and Eddie Guerrero like 12 minutes with no bullshit? No, we got to give Medusa and Asia like 7 fucking minutes. And then we got to have Sid out there in the main event working with the Outsiders for a fucking match that never ended. I hate this show.
My notes are a little confused. But
Today is with Malenko.
Yes, he's suddenly
Very overdramatic.
wearing a Canadian hockey jersey. Suddenly he hates Canada. He's going to burn the Canadian flag, he says.
He's going to light the flag on fire and shove it up Benoit's ass, he says.
And he's wearing a Canadian hockey t-shirt.
Yes,
Or
Team
jersey.
Canada. Sweater, actually, probably.
Oh my God, keep going.
Sting walks.
Yes.
Russo.
Excuse me, what?
Russo tells Hoovy his visa is expired. Hoovy attempts to negotiate by giving Russo tequila. It's bad tequila. Russo spits it on him. He sends creative control. Go get my toothbrush.
No payoff, by the way.
No, we never saw what happened after that. Malenko versus Benoit in a flag match. So, after sending best wishes to Gordon Sully, the announcers then decide, how do you win? Do you get your flag or the other country guy's flag?
No one knows.
The wrestlers didn't know.
Nope.
They had no idea. So eventually, Dean gets the Canadian flag and wins. The Revolution comes out. They're all going to burn the flag too. Then they said, hey, let's burn the U.S. flag as well. They throw both flags in the trash can. They cover that with gas. Bret Hart runs out to make the save. The bad guys are chased away, and Benoit and Bret wave the U.S. Canadian flags. I hope that was not real gasoline, because if they did, it's all over the ring now.
I'll bet, Vinny, it wasn't real gasoline.
Oh, well, based on what I've seen in 1999, I would not put it past anyone. Meng versus Sting in a no DQ Falls Count Anywhere match. Liz tries to interfere. Sting stops her. Lex confronts Liz. Sting grabs him. Meng hits Sting with a death grip and pins him.
The Russo segment was right before this match. Somehow you added it somewhere
I
else.
told you my notes were screwed up.
I see.
Yeah. Okay, the Outsiders walk. Is that next?
Yes. Then Goldberg walks.
And he says, hey, killer, are you ready? Is that next?
Yes.
Okay, good. The Maestro's playing piano. David Flair shows up, destroys the piano with a crowbar. And then in case any of you thought it was a real piano, David Flair casually flips it over and sends it flying.
Yes.
You ever moved a piano?
He's very strong.
Baby grand piano.
They don't fly.
Well, you know, he's a powerful man.
No, he's not.
You tell me it was a fake piano?
That was a real piano.
And they had worked music?
Somehow.
Maybe it's just a keyboard
Maybe
on.
it's something, yeah, sure. Because Hacksaw, when he played it, he was hammering the keys. Maybe they had 2 pianos. A gimmick piano and a work piano, or a shoot piano.
All right, so Hall and Nash face Goldberg and Sting.
Or Sid.
Brian Lesnar.
Whoever the fuck it was. Goldberg tags in. The only good thing about this match is Goldberg gets his hands on Nash.
Yes.
This lazy fucker. And he's like, you're working. And he fucking suplexes him all over the place. He's beating the shit out of him. Nash is being basically forced to bump all over the place. As close as a shoot as you're going to get with Kevin Nash. And then they get the heat on Goldberg.
They sure do.
He lays on the mat. He's struggling to get the tag. Now, tell me if I'm wrong here, but it appears to me that he finally took out both the Outsiders, and Sid hit the ring without a tag.
Yes.
He made a comeback.
Yes.
Goldberg gets back in. Goldberg spears Hall. Sid hits the power bomb, and this fucking idiot referee is trying to get Goldberg out of the ring, even though Goldberg is the legal man.
Correct. That's what happened.
So as the referee is fucking all of this up, Nash drops an elbow on Sid, puts Hall on top of Sid, the illegal man.
Yes.
The referee counts the pin.
Yes.
Even when they do a clean finish in the main event, it's not clean.
No, that's what...
Fuck off.
All of that. Sid...
I can't forget all of that.
Sid got pinned with an elbow smash.
Yes.
We saw a head scissors and an elbow smash finish people off of the show.
These are large men, Vinny. Kevin Nash leaped into an elbow
And this
drop.
is pretty much This is pretty much Sid's face turn.
Basically.
Basically.
Yeah, he came out, him and Bill are friends now. They even mentioned they were fighting in the pay-per-view last night.
Yeah.
Also, apparently at some point, somehow Steiner got injured and Hall is TV champ too. He's
That's
TV,
right.
What? He's TV and U.S. champs right now.
Right.
I'm glad you brought that to my attention.
He's coming out.
That's news to me.
He had 2 belts backstage, then they come out, they're each wearing a belt, and Shivani's like, in case some of you are wondering why there are 2 belts here. And he tried to explain it, but he was confused, I was confused. But yes, Scott Hall has 2 belts now.
This is history's dumbest program. Would you like to do your finishes report, and then I will do the world-famous segment count?
That's a good plan.
Okay.
World famous.
Here we go.
It's been 2 weeks.
It doesn't take long.
Things travel fast, went viral.
Yeah.
The finishes on this show were pin after one guy ran out on one friend because his other friend was trying to boink his girl. Clean submission. DQ when guy used his chair for no good goddamn reason. Pin after belt shots. Pin after distraction. DQ due to a baseball bat when there's already a cage and interference in the ring. Pin despite interference. Ref stoppage due to eye injury. DQ or pin or something after interference by the tag champs and retired guy. Clean submission. Win in a flag match. Pin after distraction. Pin after elbow drop.
Wow. Good timing.
Nice.